gonna keep this as close as possible to me, man. It's freezing out here, but I love it. Quick disclaimer, I'm gonna keep my hands in my pocket because my hands are freezing, so salaki for that. It went from like really warm weather, nice and hot, it went from nice warm weather, hot weather, to cold overnight. Feels like winter all over again. But yeah, let me get started. But Shalom. Before I get started with prophesying against Babylon the Great, I'm gonna turn towards the east, give all praises, all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to say shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel who endure all things for. Shalom to all the Akim, few sisters that believe on Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Until the bitter end, I say once again, shalom. There's so much going on geopolitically, domestically, internationally, economically, socially. It's hard to choose where to start in these times, man, to be honest with you. We got wars going on throughout the four corners of the earth. We got the Iran against America, the United States of America, the Israeli state, which started in 1948. China is itching to take over Taiwan. And we also have Russia and Ukraine going on. And the Ukrainians are losing literally effortlessly. The Russians, Gog and Magog, they're not even trying that hard to overtake Ukraine. And based on historical prophecies, based on just the information that we've gathered over time, it's clear that the Lord is showing himself to be alive and well. He's declaring himself right now as we speak. From the very end, he's declaring himself from the very beginning, both ways, man. And all we got to do as the servants of the Lord is to make our bodies a living sacrifice for righteousness. Let me just move this a little bit. Yeah, so bear with me, Akim. I'm just gonna keep my hands in my pocket for a little bit because it is freezing, man. My hands are feeling the cold. It feels like winter once again, but it's all good through the spirit. We gotta endure all things and be instant in season and out of season, despite how we feel. And shalom to Shapar Atizawam, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Akia. Despite how we feel, despite what's going on in the external world, we have to maintain our faith in a wicked, wretched society. Because this society is not going to go on forever, despite contrary to popular belief. The people of this world and the things that are therein are only waxing worse and worse. And us as the servants, all we have to do is maintain our integrity and our faith in a wicked, evil, debaucherous generation, an adulterous generation, which is going to pass away. And just because a few unbelievers don't believe, that don't mean anything to us. We understand what is written in the scriptures pertaining to prophecy. And we heard the noise, we heard the voice of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, whether it was in person or on the internet. We got this word. Now we're proclaiming this word. So out there. We just put this a little more. I just want the sign to be seen. But nevertheless, despite the externals, we got to focus on what's internal. Because the internal is what's going to win us this war against the things that are in high places. Like it talks about Ephesians 5, if I'm not mistaken, 2 Corinthians 10 or 1 Corinthians 10. And we're bringing down strongholds. We're bringing down all the things that this whole world wants to exalt and wants to display as righteousness. All the false gods, all the idols of this world, that sweet white Jesus that people love so goddamn much. We can care less how y'all people feel. We don't care what you heathens think about it. All we really care about is sealing the elect of the nation of Israel. And the elect of the nation of Israel, or really the nation of Israel in general, in the Western Hemisphere, are you blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and Seminole Indians, the indigenous peoples in North America, Central America, South America, throughout the world. We've been scattered, not just here in the Western Hemisphere, but throughout the entire world because of our disobedience. And the Lord is calling us back once again to come back to the marriage, because this whole world is only waxing worse over time. And the best thing that you can do for yourself and your household, especially if you're an Israelite, is to repent, turn back away from your wickedness, and start maintaining righteousness. Because ain't nothing here for your benefit. The people of this world don't like you. Trying to seek love from other nations that hate you. Psalms 106 talks about it. The nation of Israel, you were hated and you were put under subjection by the same people that don't like you, that have no respect for your people. Because if they actually respected your people, they will tell you who you are, where you come from, who your God is, where your nationality is. But their whole premise is to keep us under subjection, because they understand, according to Judith chapter 5, that if we keep the commandments and we obey the voice of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, it's impossible to take us down. But when we disobey, we want to go to the world for everything. We want to follow the ways of the heathens, follow the ways of the infidels. They can overtake us very easily. But right now, this is not the time for that. It's been over 500 years, actually like 586 years, since the start of the, the transatlantic slave trade. And just recently, if you happen to be reading information online, it's been said that the transatlantic slave trade is one of the worst atrocities that's ever happened on Earth. Like all of a sudden, now they want to talk about it. Now they want to bring up the terrible tragedy that happened upon the nation of Israel. And despite your hatred towards the nation of Israel and all the blood that's been shed upon our people and upon our children and upon our forefathers, our ancient forefathers, none of that stuff is not going to help any of us when it comes to reparations. The true reparations is going to be by blood. We want to see blood running the streets of America, and it's going to happen in due time. Shalom to the wild Judah, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barakatah Akia. We want to see blood all over the streets, because you people are not going to listen to the prophets like that. The only people who are actually going to listen and abide what the Lord wants them to do is the elect. We don't know who the elect are. I don't know if I'm the elect, but I maintain a positive expectation that I am of the elect. The hopeful elect, let me say that. Just like the Apostle Paul said, you don't want to number yourself, man. You don't know what can happen in the near future, what the Lord can do to you for getting very prideful, thinking you're untouchable. The Lord can get any single last one of us when he feels like it. That's why it's called the Allah Shajit, the terrible demon-like God, who can mess you up. Despite you thinking you can get away with doing wickedness, nah, the Lord sees everything you do. And especially in these times, it's the worst time to try to go against the Heavenly Father. Yahweh, you really think you're going to get away from the Lord, the Creator himself? Makes no sense. But again, we live in a very prideful generation. And the reason why the people are so prideful and arrogant is because the worst of the worst is in power right now. We're talking about the nation of Edom, the so-called white race. They lied to the world about who Jesus Christ was, real name Yahweh Shai. They said he was a pale-skinned guy, well, actually a red-skinned guy with pink skin, blonde hair, blue eyes. When you go to any of these Catholic churches or any of these Christian denominations, they show you a sweet white Jesus right in front of your freaking face, man. Then they wonder why we got a problem with them. And the only reason why they were put on this earth is because they were meant to be a whooping stick to the nation Yasharala. They were literally just put on this earth to be our whatchamacallit online. Nowadays, everybody's saying foot to ass or something like that. Or belt to ass, BTA. That's the whole reason for their existence. Now, despite all the things that's happened to us, now it's time to awake out of sleep. Now it's time to get strong in the spirit, to remove yourself from the ways of this world and acknowledge Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Because nothing else is going to happen. Everything else in this world is falling very fast and very frequently. And just because people don't believe, that don't mean anything to us. We understand that the people love this world, and those that do the will of the Heavenly Father, they're going to abide and they're going to stand strong in the faith, maintaining their righteousness in a wicked generation, in a generation that apparently is very godly and apparently is so righteous and so upright that they can't be told anything. And you know what's crazy, bro? You know how these MAGA Trump supporters want to talk about the United States is a Christian nation. It was founded on Christianity and things of that nature. You know what? I say, yeah. I say, sure. You know what? Despite it not being actually factually true, the United States of America is not a Christian nation. But you know what? You Christians are one of the biggest hypocrites I've ever met in my life. You know, so you know what? Go ahead. You can show yourself to be a hypocrite. You can show yourself for all the bloodshed that's happened upon the indigenous peoples throughout the shores of the Americas. That's what Christianity did to the indigenous peoples and those from West Africa, the Israelites. Y'all shed a lot of blood. Y'all enslaved us. You took away our heritage, our customs, our traditions. And despite all of that, you want to call yourself a godly nation. So you know what? Go ahead. I'm all for it. Call yourself a Christian, but understand you're one of the biggest hypocrites we've ever seen in our lives, man. Christianity has done nothing for you people. And I'm talking about the nation of Yasharala. And even the heathen as well. It's done nothing to them. Besides bring turmoil and annoyance and things of that nature. It's done nothing for this world despite only bringing wickedness, justifying wickedness. That's what Christianity is all about. Do whatever feels right to you. And if it feels right, despite it being wicked, according to Torah, according to Tawah, then you can do it. It's literally the religion of no accountability. And that goes for the other religions as well. People claim to be Muslim. They're still smoking. They're still eating pork. They're still just being a complete, total reprobate for their own belief systems. But then they look at us like we're the problem. Like we're the people that happen to be some sort of like an issue to this world when all we're doing is proclaiming righteousness in a wicked generation. And that's all right. We're not here for everybody. We don't care if you listen or not. We're only here for the elect of the nation of Israel, and that's it. All the wars going on throughout the four corners of the earth, we're very happy that it's going on, because that shows that our salvation draweth nigh. Again, we're talking about American soldiers have actively said that if they go to war with Iran, that means that who they call Jesus Christ is going to come back. And he is going to come back in a vengeful spirit. He's going to be a so-called black man with white woolly hair, very dark brown skin. And he's going to come back as an angelic force that can't be literally touched at all. A powerful force. And despite all the wickedness that goes on this earth, we're not going to stop proclaiming righteousness. Because if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. And we're the only people in the nation of Israel that actually loves our people. And the best way that our people are going to get right is simply by getting put to death via judgment. And the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. Let me get that actually. My hands are a little bit warmed up, but let me see. This is Psalms 37. I think it's 37, right? It says the Lord loves judgment. You know what? I can't find it, but I'll just get this for now. This is Psalms 37 and 27. Depart from evil and do good and dwell forevermore. Oh, it's right here. For Yahweh loveth judgment and forsaketh not his saints. They are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. So depart from evil. The things that this society wants to uphold, they want to uphold sodomy, being a homosexual, a trans freak. According to this society, that's all good. And the only reason why it's popped up is because you so-called white people, a bunch of faggots. Look at ancient Rome. One moment. Shalom to Yuanathan, Yahweh Bashim Shai, Rakatah Akia. When the prophet's on the scene, judgment comes in between. Shout out to the Akia Yahweh. So bear with me too. I have to keep my hands in my pocket because it's like a popsicle. It went from very warm weather, very hot weather, to just all of a sudden below temperature cold weather. Shit. I got something in my eye. But yeah, man, prophecy's not gonna stop. 2 Ezra 15 says that the prophecies that are written in the scriptures from Isaiah, Jeremiah, Daniel, Ezekiel, Habakkuk, Obadiah, they're all faithful and true. And this society is full of falsehoods, false pretenses, lies, deception, deceit, and all these various things because the wicked of the wicked are in rulership right now. What? We're in the hands of lawless enemies. Prayer of Azariah says that in chapter 1, verse 9. The worst people in existence are ruling over the nation of Israel. And here we are telling our people to get right or get left. Because everything that is written in the scriptures is going to come to pass. Isaiah 55 and 11 says that the word of the Lord does not go out void. It's actually going to happen. Despite all the things that goes on this earth, despite all the distractions, because that's what it really is when it comes down to it. There's so many distractions. There's so much different stimuli throughout the world. Let me bring this in some more. There's so much going on because you have technology at a ridiculous rate. There's so much information throughout the world, throughout the internet. There's so much going on, man, that you have to stay diligent. And I know, speaking for myself, that's just the truth. Psalms 11 and 7. For the righteous Lord loveth righteousness, his countenance doth behold the upright. You had a question, miss? Do you see yourself on this sign? What's your ethnicity? But anyhow, that's why our people got to get put to death, because they don't want to forsake their ways. They don't want to follow the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And that's why the Lord got to put them to death. Psalms 11 and 7. It's very windy outside. Psalms 11 and 7. Shit. For the righteous Lord loveth righteousness. His countenance doth behold the upright. And we're shining very bright in a wicked and adulterous generation. These people look dead on the inside. Just look at their faces. They're dead as hell. All they talk about online is death and being very gloomy and down. It's amazing how how you people really are in this world. Y'all are so depressed. You're so just wicked, man. Evil. Full of malignity. And wisdom can't dwell in a flesh that's subject to sin. And because of that, you people are just clueless. You're walking with no sense of honor and dignity and respect about yourselves. All you care about is money and this fake ass society and all the things that it wants to prop up. So let me bring this in some more. Again, I'm just all over the place. Psalms 11 and 7, for the righteous Lord loveth righteousness. And what's righteousness? The keeping of the laws, statutes, and commandments written in the Torah. The reason why we follow the ways of Yahweh Shai, the only begotten Son, is because it's written in the Torah. That's the main reason why. We're not just saying, oh, Yahweh Shai, this, that, and the third. No, he's actually the only begotten Son, and we are commissioned to follow his ways. And if you don't follow his ways, well, you're on the left-hand side of the Lord, and you're gonna get destroyed, rightfully so. And all you Israelites that are the Old Testament that want to forsake Yahweh Shai, get ready to get put to death in these last days unless you repent. Because it's crazy. He was sent to this world just 2,000 years ago, and here you are. You want to say that none of his prophecies that are written in there are not true. His countenance doth behold the upright, exactly. And we're upright in spirit. We're strong in the faith. Despite the elements, what the people have to say, their falsehoods, their false beliefs, wanting to debate the Israelites. We don't care what you people really think. And even online, bro, it's amazing how they talk so much shit online against the children of Israel. But here we are, we're right in your faces, telling you straight to your faces that your whole society is crumbling. And it's getting very bad over time, man. And we love to say it very proudly and very arrogantly that this world is going worse, and it's only going to get even worse over time. And I say that in the sense that we can honestly say that the Lord is going to come back and we're going to wreak havoc on you people. Lord's will, I'm of that number. Isaiah 5 and 20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Yeah, everything's upside down. The Torah is considered wicked according to this world. And what's wicked, what's propped it up, is considered righteousness. And then y'all wonder why we got a problem with you people. Every day, we have to look at y'all and we have to see the fact that y'all just are not following the ways of righteousness itself. And the thing is, it's okay at the end of the day. We're not here to convince you. We're only here to convince the elect. That's who needs the convincing. Everybody else, you're simply a non-factor in our world. On my day-to-day basis, I'm just focused on doing me and uplifting the Akim, the hopeful elect, and we want to get the hell out of here. And we see so many signs that things are only waxing worse over time. And despite all that going on, you people still want to scoff and talk shit. 1 Corinthians 7 and 31. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. Everything about it is passing away. It's literally just a falsehood. You got people online thinking that they're somebody when they're absolutely nobodies. And you got these fake Jews out here pretending to be us. They're from Eastern Europe. And from Eastern Europe, they came from Mount Petra. Well, the Salak, not Mount Petra. they was in the Caucasus Mountains, and then from the Caucasus Mountains, they were before that in Mount Seir, Petra. It's amazing how this whole world is just backwards, and all we're simply doing is proclaiming truth, and truth is a problem. Truth is literally considered like the worst thing going on. Again, because you people don't have any sense of real integrity in your hearts. You don't even follow your own gods correctly. And despite all this, you still want to talk shit about the servants of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Isaiah 5:21. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Yeah, they think they're really smart, that they got something going on for themselves. Despite the fact that the Lord has sent a strong delusion upon you people, even our very own. You still can't see it, but that's all right. Once again, this information is only for a very small, select few group of people. And that's the population of Israelites that are within the nation of Israel. That's going to get saved. That's going to be redeemed. That's actually going to consider the ways of righteousness. Because once again, things are not getting any better, and all we got to do is get stronger in the faith and continue to fight for righteousness. That's what it comes down to. Fighting for righteousness. And forsaking our sins in the ancient world. And he saw through. He saw us through. He saw through. That nigga through, bro. Peep. That's crazy. See, Esau's finished, man. You Akim, keep doing y'all thing, man. Despite everything going on, this is the wicked. Isaiah 5:21. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Shalom to brother Enos, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barakatah Akia. Yeah, Esau's fucking through. Here it is. You're in your own society. This is your own kingdom, but you still are a two-time loser. Actually, you're a triple loser. You own this kingdom. You have the privilege, and you still don't know what to do with it. People are done. You're a triple loser. Think about that. That's harsh. And us Israelites, whether our people in the world or not, we're taking your women. Your women don't even want y'all anymore. All we got to do is show up as Israelites, and we got all the women to ourselves. I don't need no money. I don't need no fame or fortune. I don't need all these riches. I just got to show up and be myself, and I'll take your women for free. Yeah, bro. Don't take these people seriously. They finished. If he's done like that, the rest of the people, they're done too. They just happen to hide it a lot easier than him. Hey, man, the water Yahweh Shai for everything, man. All we got to do is maintain our faith in a demonic, wretched, satanic society, because that's what Babylon the Great is. A satanic society that our people want to seek love in. And I have no interest in that. You know, and prophecies are ripping out the pages as we speak. Once again, we got a lot going on in the region that's called the Middle East, Iran, the Israeli state, and then right now you have the Israelis trying to overtake Lebanon. These people are so insatiable, they simply just can't keep to themselves. They want to overtake everything. They want to continue to fight for things that are not even theirs. This is Amalek to the T. And all they want to do is kill innocent people. And we understand that they're not really innocent like that. But of course, the Lord and his judgment is two-way. They get judged here, either because of what they did in this current life or in their past lives. And Amalek There's some really wretched, decrepit, evil tribe within the nation of Edom. They literally are just insatiable with their blood. And the whole purpose of what they're doing is to create the greater Israel, which is not going to be accomplished. And it's been said by their own rabbis that the Messiah is supposed to come back sometime this year or next year, according to them. And that same Messiah that they are so desperately are looking for is really Yahweh Shai, who's actually going to completely, utterly kill them. Yahweh Shai is going to come back and enslave Amalek and all the debauchery that y'all done to the nation of Israel. The greatest identity theft was done to the nation of Yasharallah. And here you are trying to create the greater Israel. Are you out of your mind? Get ready to fall by the edge of the sword. And that shows you how cold the Lord is when you think about it. Again, they're looking for their Messiah. Whole time the Messiah is looking for us. And that same Messiah is actually going to kill them, the ones that they so desperately want. Deuteronomy 30:7, and Yahweh thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecutest thee. Yeah, they persecuted us completely. And they didn't care. All they cared about was filling their own bellies. What felt right to them. Even if it meant taking the apple of the Lord's eye into slavery. If you touch the apple of his eye, you're touching, Salaki, if you touch the nation of Israel, you're touching the apple of his eye. The Creator himself. That's a harsh reality. And you think you're just going to get away with it? You're going to walk off into the sunset and everything's all right in your eyes? Yeah, okay, buddy. And it makes no sense when you think about it. How unjust would the Lord be if he doesn't give reparations to the nation of Israel? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we've been suffering for so long, literally. And nobody else cares, and that's all right. I don't really want y'all to care. I want Yahweh Shai HaMashiach and the Lord's judgments to do all the work. I don't want your money. And if you want to give free money, let me say this, you can give it. Exodus 17:16, for he said, because Yahweh hath sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. And it's been non-stop war. That's why there's going to be no more peace in the Middle East. That's a figment of your imagination. All those so-called white people who are pretending to be us, they're feeling the effects of what it's like to lie to people, to deal in falsehoods, right? And when you look at the history of Amalek, they always dealt treacherously with nations. That's why they've been kicked out over 109 different countries. And when you do a little bit of Google research, and I was actually looking into it not too long ago, AI will lie about the fact that Jewish people have been kicked out over 109 different countries. It literally lied about, oh, that's not true. Oh, that's an anti-Semitic trope or whatever. No, it's true. Because every nation they've ever been in, they would give, if let's say you wanted money, you want to take out a loan, they will charge you like 200% interest if you don't happen to pay it back. That's evil. That's ridiculous. Interest upon top interest and just trying to extract money and resources from people. That's Amalek to the T. And lying about it. Then they wonder why people got a problem with them. And if you read the book, New World Jewelry, our people, when they came in contact with Amalek, they said, where are your horns? Because they understood that they were the devil, that they're literally the problem and the cancer of the earth. And because of that, we still fall into their hands, because the devil wants to use smooth words. He wants to have things that sound right, that sound like, you know what, he's actually harmless. They haven't hurt any of us at all. It's just simply, we got to follow their ways because, they built civilization. They allowed us to prosper. This is what our people will say. Despite the fact that you were enslaved by them, there was so much bloodshed that happened upon your people because of them. They lied about the Messiah and his message. They lied about how the Holy Bible really is and the true message behind all 80 books. They took out literally 14 books and made it into the Apocrypha because they wanted to hide the fact that we are the nation of Israel. Luke 21 and 24 through 25. And I'm going to end it out here. Well, actually, Salakia. I see Job 18 and 11. Job 18 and 11. Terrors shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet. Yeah, they're seeing the result of their wicked deeds against the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. You can't get away with doing all this wickedness. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to just walk off into the sunset all of a sudden? That's not reality. Our God is a just God, and he's going to put a stop to all, just everything that goes against Torah. And they proclaim to the people of the book, but they're following the ways of the Talmud. And the ways of the Talmud says that Yahushua is boiling in hot excrement. It says that Mary is a whore. And then all these wicked things against the Messiah and against the nation of Israel. And then they really have a lot of nerve and gall to come up against us, man. That's why you're going to fall terribly and horribly in these times. Shalom to Ariel Yasharallah, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Barakatah Akia. Luke 21 and 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. That's exactly what's going on throughout the world because of what you did to the nation of Israel. You took away our heritage. You fought against the apple of the Lord's eye. You did everything contrary to what you were supposed to do. They forwarded the affliction. They made our lives that much harder. And to this day, it's still hard. We live hard lives. And you still couldn't take us down. And you didn't. You failed miserably. And you should have just went all the way. And I'm ended out here. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8. And the water for all the precepts, Akia. And then shall that wicked be revealed. Oh, that's the perfect precept to end out. Whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And the wicked has already been revealed, man. The man of perdition, the lawless enemy. They've been revealed. Just look on the internet, go on YouTube, go on Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. All forms of social media are revealing this devil for what he is, man. An insatiable bloodlust, envious, full of hatred, backbiting, like it talks about in Romans 1. That's the nation of Edom as a whole. Constantly going against things that are actually in the benefit of life itself, so to speak. If you go against Torah, you love death. Like it talks about in Proverbs chapter 8, Salakia. All they that hate me love death. And the way you show the Lord that you love him and fear him is by the keeping of the commandments. Because that's what's good. Being good is not about holding an old lady's hand while she's crossing the street. That has nothing to do with that. Now, should you do it? You know, if the situation calls for it, do it. Go ahead. But that's not what the Lord is looking for. He's looking for obedience. Especially in these times, obedience is better than sacrifice. Ain't no way the Lord is going to allow the wicked to prosper in their ways forever, because they're already being revealed. And right now, in the Middle East, there's so much going on when it comes to war, when it comes to terror. Ain't no stopping the prophecies of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And again, I feel like a lot of people forgot. But Iran is Persia. And Ezekiel 38 talks about Gog and Magog, Ethiopia, Persia, Libya. They're all going to clink up, and they're all going to come against Babylon the Great. the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency. The worst nation in existence. This queendom just needs to go down completely and utterly. And it's happening in real time. I'm gonna catch this from the beginning. Hey, the water, bro. The water. Let's fight the good fight of faith. And let's continue to maintain our ways in a wretched world. So I'm gonna close out right there, man. Because it's freezing. I'm gonna turn towards the east. Say all praises, all honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And once again, Shalom to you, Akim, and the water for the precepts, because my hands are freezing. Man, I'm feeling it. And once again, Shalom to you elect.